Alright, this video we're going to look at graphing some absolute value functions, and we're going to do this the method we're going to use sort of the transformation method. We're going to find the vertex and figure out what the slope of the right hand side is, and that's going to tell us just exactly how to graph it. We know it's absolute value, so we know that the shape is going to be a V. We know that it's going to have a vertex right down here, so we're going to find that vertex. And then we'll find the slope of this right-hand side, which will tell us basically what the left-hand side, because the left-hand side will be just a mirror image of the right. Okay, so let's start here. So, absolute value x plus 3 minus 2. That tells me that the x value of my vertex is going to be negative 3. Remember, if it's plus 3, that means the x value is going to be negative 3. And that the y value is going to be negative 2. Remember that we don't change that y value. So our vertex is at negative 3, negative 2. Which I'll go find right down here. Negative 3, negative 2. I know it's going to be a V. The question is just what's the direction the V is, the right-hand side of the V is going. Right over here, I have nothing here. Well, don't tell me it's nothing, because if there's nothing there, that means it's a 1. And that number there, that in this case is 1, is going to tell me the slope of the right-hand side. So it's going to go off at a slope of 1. So up 1 over 1, and so on, like this. And then the left-hand side is just going to be a mirror image, so it's going to go off in that direction. And there we go. That's as easy as that. Okay. Let's try another one. Okay. First we'll find the vertex. Well, this minus 4 tells me that the x value of my vertex is going to be positive 4. This plus 1 here tells me that the y value is going to be positive 1. Remember, we don't switch the y value. So here's my vertex. And then right here, there's nothing there. Don't tell me there's nothing there. That's a 1, right? So that 1 tells me that the slope of the right-hand side is going to be 1. So I'll go to 4, 1. And then my slope is going to be up 1 over 1, like this. And then on the left-hand side, it's just going to be a mirror image of that. Okay. So there we go. That's 2 of them out of the way. Let's try another one. Okay, this is going to be a little more complicated, of course, right? So here we go. Our x value of our vertex is going to be negative 1. The y value is going to be negative 2. So there's my vertex. And then my slope is going to be whatever that coefficient is outside the absolute value, which in this case is 2. So now the slope on the right is going to be 2. So go to negative 1, negative 2. There's my vertex, and my bottom of my V is right there. And then up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Going to look like that. And then the left-hand side is just going to be a mirror image, so it's going to kind of go off like that. Alright, try one more. Alright, so the x value of my vertex is going to be negative 1, remember, opposite sign for the x value, it's inside the absolute value. And then the y value is going to be positive 3, so there's my vertex. Okay, so negative 1, positive 3 is the vertex. Now here's the slope. Negative 4/3. That means it's going to be on the right hand side. It's going to be going down. Down 4 over 3. Down 4 over 3. And then the left hand side is just going to be a mirror image. So it's going to be down 4, back 3, down 4, and then that's actually going to take me off. Graph. And it's going to look like this. Now let's talk just quickly, we've got a minute here, let's talk about domain and range of each of these functions. So the domain of this function, this first one, well, the domain of any absolute value function is always all real numbers, which in interval notation we just write that goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. I'll write that right there, D for domain. And the range is going to be, well, everything in this graph is from negative to up. It's all up in here. There's nothing down here. Right? Everything is above negative 2 and above. So it's going to go from negative 2. Remember, we always write the lower number first, all the way up into the ether, up to infinity. There's my domain and range. Okay, let's look at this next one. The domain is going to be all real numbers, negative infinity to infinity, for every absolute value equation. Always all real numbers. The range, well, it's going to be everything from 1 up. Everything is up here, right? There's nothing, everything is on or above this line, going up that way, right? So it's going to be from 1, includes 1, right? Because that's why we have that square bracket there, because it does come down to 1, all the way up to infinity. All right, down here, number 3, domain, all real numbers. The range, well, the lowest point is right down here, -2, that vertex, and everything else is above that. So it's all starts down at -2 and goes up. So it's going to be from -2 up to infinity. Well, as far as you can get. All right, now the last one will be a little different. The domain won't be different because that's just going to be negative infinity to infinity, every absolute value equation. But the range goes up to 3, and then it's everything below. So we can imagine that there's like a line right here. Everything is from 3 down. So we always write the lower number first. We're going to write it like this. It goes from negative infinity up to and including 3. So we'll write the range of that absolute value equation like this: negative infinity, comma 3. All right, that is graphing absolute value equation.